Hello, YouTube. It's Friday night. Today is May the 17th, and I missed you guys last week because I was actually traveling, and my mind was not on making YouTube videos. I have to tell you, I was lucky enough to spend Mother's Day weekend in Atlanta, Georgia. I was staying at some friends' houses. I had my aunties come over from Florida, my cousin, her friend. It was a nice group. We all got together. We sung karaoke. We did day drinking. I advise against that. I can't remember everything that went on. All I know is we were like on shutdown at a certain time. But we had a blast. We spent the weekend singing, dancing, partying, eating great food. And then before you know it, it was like blink of an eye, it's time to come back. I also missed the Wildwood Trump rally. I'm in New Jersey. If you don't know that, by the way, even though I'm in northern New Jersey, that was going on in southern New Jersey. I had a bunch of America First friends and colleagues that were there. So many videos and so much content was shared with me on social media. They had a blast, a really, really good time out there. And I don't know, guys. That'd be interesting if Trump were to take New Jersey. I mean, New Jersey just does not seem like, just the way it's laid out, it just doesn't seem like you wouldn't think it would be a blue state. But apparently, you know, everybody, it depends on the area. Truly, truly depends on the area. Because wherever there's dense population, that's usually Democrat territory. So anyway, they're watching for New Jersey. Let's see what happens. I mean, but it all depends with the polls, right? So today, what are we talking about today? Well, it's right at the top of my mind. I had some other subjects, but I got plenty of content. But right now, if I'm keeping true to my Fridays, I gotta stick with where this is. So obviously we are gonna be talking about McLying, Michael Cohen. So we know the hush money trial is coming. It's pretty much look like it's wrapping up and coming to an end, guys. Um, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm hoping that the better angels and better voices and the rationale of a good person still exists and that they are all not beaten down with the woke mind virus in New York City. I mean, Trump is a New Yorker. I hope that there is mercy, that he's extended some mercy because I think he deserves it. I think he truly deserves it. I am an advocate for my pre retirees and retirees because of the business that I'm in. And I think it's absolutely diabolical that they are going after a 76-year-old man the way they are going after Donald Trump. I think it's pretty insane. I don't think that these people are viewing him as a human being. Instead, they're viewing him as some entity, some force of evil, something bad. And I think that's horrible. He is a human being. At the end of the day, he has a family, his friends. I mean, he's been going through this for now, crap, since 2015. So we're like going on 9 years of nonstop, vicious, demeaning attacks. This whole trial was set up just to humiliate Trump and I'd say his family. And there's only so much that a person could take. Again, as I said, he is part of our aging population. He is so charismatic. He's such a fighter. And I think that is what everyone loves most about Trump. He's the exact opposite of what, folks back in 2016 with Bernie Sanders would have liked for him to actually stand up to his party. But Trump is doing it, man. And he is the only candidate that I've seen in my lifetime, or probably will see, that neither party, like the Republicans don't like him, neither does the Democrats, and both will gladly throw him overboard for power and just to remain, doing what they've been doing, screwing the people, not taking care of the people, not representing the people. And so I think something that's miscalculated and people don't understand is that people are not voting for the Republican Party. People are voting for Trump. This is about Trump. People are seeing themselves in Trump, seeing the similarities of, God forbid, what if it was you next? I think I want to say I seen one of these commentators who were like basically complaining about the fact that Trump had money to fight these cases. Just imagine if he didn't. So he would just have to settle for they're going after him and oh he can't afford legal fees and so he's gonna cop out or he's gonna take a plea deal because it's in his financial best interest. It's horrible. And I hope he's going to be able to recruit all that he's lost, at least in legal fees, through this process. This has been horrible. You have to understand that these people know exactly what they're doing. And I will continue to stick to the notion that two of the issues, and I'm going to be following back up on this next week, is the whole overhauling of Title IX, where they're changing what it means to be a woman or what they're accepting. That is a direct attack on women, and I would love to know where the women are. So I feel like this is going to be a fight for women. um, so I'll be having to look into what women's rights groups, who's existing, who's leading the charge on this. But I know that there is actually a lawsuit that has been launched against the Biden administration, and it's in reference to Title IX and them trying to redesign or redefine what it means to have those protections based on sex and gender. So I will be doing a video to follow up on that. But I continue to think that another civil rights issue is going to be if we do not put any safeguards in place, if we do not create any laws and legislation against rogue prosecutors who engage in prosecutorial misconduct all the time. What is that going to say for our judicial system? They've made a mockery of our judicial system. It is truly a joke. And it's being shown to be that if they can just use lawfare at any given time when there is a political opponent that they do not like, that they don't agree with, where they can sabotage, they can blackmail, they can undermine, they can criminalize. I mean, like part of the strategy, when I say that it's so diabolical, it feels like the strategy has to be that I mean just most people, normal people are just exhausted. You just get drained out and exhausted with nonstop coverage of Trump, 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 Trump. They mean it's not maybe even that they don't like Trump, but what it has to do with is that they're just tired of hearing about him. They're just tired of hearing about him. Us as supporters, we're tired of hearing, at least especially in the negative light, right? Let's get into policy. Let's be focused on what actually matters, the things that are going to push this country forward, the things that are going to make our lives better, our quality of life, our outlook, and boost consumer confidence, address inflation. Now, obviously, we're deeply cooked into that. There's not going to be a lot that Trump can do about that. Um, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'm an optimistic. I believe in that. There's always faith. You always have to keep hope and faith alive because what else do we have? All we'll have is hopelessness and despair. And I refuse to be that person. So this season is the lion season. It's lion season only. Now, as it relates to Michael Cohen, I know if you've been paying attention to any of the trial, he's gotten roasted by the cross examination of with Trump's defense attorneys over the past couple of days. We know that Stormy Daniels had what she had to say, this animated version. She's another liar. But we're talking about McLying, Michael Cohen right now. And something that stood out, I know you guys know that he has a TikTok. He's been doing videos on covering the trial, talking trash about Trump. You know that Trump has not been able to speak up for himself. But Michael Cohen has been speaking a great deal. And he's selling t shirts, he's got merch going on. And it just reminded me of something I thought about a while ago. It was just that to cover Trump, Trump's a moneymaker. His name makes money. So anything Trump, people are going to tune into, whether they want to or not. If it's going to be that you love him, or if, unfortunately, if you're on the other side and you hate him. I personally don't hate anybody, especially someone that's never done anything to me. No one's someone who hasn't betrayed me. There's no reason for me to carry that energy or that animosity just because I don't like a person or what it is that I think they symbolize. So you have to understand that there's a lot of grifters when it comes down to Trump. I never forget back in 2016, and I think they were talking to CEO of NBC. They were like griping about, all the free coverage that Trump was getting. And the attitude was like, yeah, but they're making money. So if you're talking about Trump, you're getting ratings. He's great for ratings and money making. And I always remember there was this older guy that, there used to be people say things and give you comments. And there was this older guy that knew me, and he used to tell me about how beautiful he thought I was. But he also told me that that beauty is a gift and a curse. And when I think about it, I think about Trump's influence and his name and his brand and what it means. And obviously, he's a successful guy, and what it actually attracts. I mean, it attracts good things, but also the majority of the time, it actually could attract the negative things. And I think when it comes down to Michael Cohen, there's so many of these people, they're all grifters. They're all making money off of Trump while they can. Outside of Trump, they have nothing else to cover. There's nothing else interesting about, let's just say, Michael Cohen's brand. The news, I mean, there's money in it. They want Trump to be the president. I mean, no matter what they say, they can talk all the trash they want, but they want Trump to be the president because it means that people are going to be tuning in. Otherwise, I mean, who's really watching Sleepy Joe? No one is. There's still a chance they could swap him. I don't know. The DNC convention's coming up. I was actually invited to the RNC's one. I think it's going on in Wisconsin. I haven't made up my mind on that yet. But really, essentially, that would be me going there to be a groupie. I don't know if I want to be a groupie. I don't, I'm not on it like that. I got other things to do. So I doubt I would make it, but it's been put out there. I got some other interesting things going on. But in general, when it comes down to Mr. Michael Cohen, I have hopes that the better angels are going to speak to those jurors, and that is going to be a hung jury. Um, I hope that there is no conviction. This trial is trash. It should have never been brought. It's a show trial, all set up to demean and humiliate Trump once again. They just won't stop. And you know what? Support amongst other groups and other ethnicities is growing for the former president. When I look at the polls and people are, like saying that he's up in all these places, well, okay. And that's if you believe the polls. But at the same time, too, I'm not surprised because places like Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and I think most recently Georgia, where they had 380,000 missing ballots. So, what does that indicate? These were phantom votes or phantom ballots that did not exist, which would have had an impact on the results of each of these states: Wisconsin, Georgia, Pennsylvania. We know the unconstitutional acts that they engaged in and the things that they did to make sure that they secured and procured votes. The ballot harvesting. It has to be that if they didn't get your vote by election day, it doesn't count. This mail in ballot system is riddled with errors and issues. And unfortunately, it's taken this long for the courts to actually render it. And I would say that the people who are engaging in this, they know exactly what they're doing, because what they know is that once you have to go to fighting and challenging something in a court system, they know the process, they know how long it takes, and they also know that by the time where these cases get adjudicated, it's too late. They've gotten what they want. It's the reason why they're trying to shove in so much trash before they're on their way out. So everything has to be reversed. Good news. The good news is it looks like there's a great chance that we could take the Senate. I don't know what that means for the House. I'm still very, very disappointed with the House on what they did with George Santos in Staten Island, because at the end of the day, at least if he was a Democrat, they would have waited till he at least finished out his term. But what they did to George Santos, really not good. So again, voting for Trump, not the party. And it looks like Trump is well on his way to pulling a Grover Cleveland from being the 45th president, not the 46th, or we'd say with an asterisk for 46. And he's on his way to being the 47th president. So, having said that, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. This is Pop Analysis coming to you live from New Jersey. I hope you're all well. And if you like this content, share, subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.